Yeah, go ahead
Please,
now.
Mr. Mayor, I would make the assumption because of the broad-ranging implications of this, that any council person could go to any one?
If you have over two at each committee, then you have to have a public meeting. It has to be announced and addressed and rest there. I don't have a problem with that, but they went a lot smoother. Anybody in the public could also go to meetings if they're a call meeting and they're advertised and so forth. So that part doesn't matter, however y'all want to do that.
Well, I don't speak for any member except for myself here. And one of the things that we have really prided ourselves on is that this is transparent. And I just think that spirit should continue.
And so what are you saying? I don't understand what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that, is there anything really wrong, sir, with having, quote, a public meeting and letting folks know, the media outlets to know?
Yes, well.
I can understand, you know, everything has been open, but you're discussing folks' jobs. These shouldn't be done in a public forum. I wouldn't want my job discussed. And when you have to get into that, when you break this down, when you have to do that, I mean, it's wide open for everybody. And that was my first comment. We don't want to do that. We want to move through this process as quickly as possible. Then the ball's in y'all's court to make those calls. You want to ask us our reasoning why. It's not anything personal, but to have folks' jobs spread out all over during a public meeting. I mean, even y'all go into executive session and discuss personnel and legal matters. And that's just not, I mean, we can come out with reports just like we did on these. We're not going to hide anything, but I can see how you're doing it. It makes more sense. That's y'all's call to make that happen.
That's so.
Mr. Mayor, I think the other issue is just pure logistics of this. There's a lot to be done, and you kept us on a pretty tight timetable going forward, which I commend you for. And if you had to go through public hearings and announcements, I think it would slow the process down. So that in the interest of speed, which is what we need here to get the ultimate results, I suggest we follow your recommendation. I think that's the right way to go.
I have a comment as being one of the subcommittee chairs. I'm not familiar with all those regulations and procedures and stuff. And you made me have me do some things, mistakes I didn't intend to do, okay?
Just a comment for just a comment, Mr. Mayor, for
Yeah, and I
guess for the record,
Courson to separate you, the two Joes. Right? I get confused. Joe Lewis and Joe Courson. So Ms. Courson, go ahead.
I think though in the time with our people, as it's been said, is they're on pins and needles. I think my friend Mr. Bowen mentioned that. I think that it should be open. If I understand it correctly about notifying of meetings, it's notifying the press within 24 hours. Is that correct, sir? At least 24 hours.
Yeah.
Which,
would you speak to that? I know you're right. I don't care to say that.
so I think the opening part, letting folks know to me is one more or two more emails addresses. But I think that in our committee, we didn't talk about specific jobs whatsoever. But we have people on pins and needles. And I think that whenever you don't open it up to the public, I think that casts a lot of suspicion on the whole process.
Well, I'm sorry to say that.
I've been through three.
Yeah, I think everything has been up front here. Now, if you feel that strong about it, fine. We'll do it just however you want to do it. But to sit here and insinuate that anybody on this board would be trying to do something secret, I detest that, of course.
Mr. Mayor, that was...
No, that's exactly what you said. Now, I want to refer back to the council. Let's take the vote. Even though Dave's not here, we'll vote. Because Mr. Courson comes up with, I don't want to do anything that insinuates we're trying to keep the public out of this. I'm trying to move this swiftly so we can get back and tell the public what we've come up with without airing it all out. But look, maybe I'm offline here. Marianna?
I had this that I wanted to say, and it has to do with the publicness of the meetings. I thought that it would be possible, and Greg, you respond to this, but if all the subcommittees had a statement that they posted on the glass door out here and gave to the press, giving the dates of their committee meetings, and the agenda of the committee meetings would all be the same, which would be to discuss the implementation of the plan submitted by the committees, that then those committee meetings would be open to anyone. And I think that as far as discussing jobs, you've discussed job positions, and you just may have to do that. But I am all for having the meetings open to anybody who wants to come. But respond to my question about posting it.
Yes. Let me